Thank you very much. This is a response on the Iebc chairman's unconstitutional remarks on the Kalou by-election. The attempt to postpone the Kalou parliamentary by-election is no longer an administrative question. It is the clearest signal yet that the regime has hit the ground, sensed defeat, and now wants Iebc to round up political fear through the language of security. The people of Kalou have already endured a period without representation in the National Assembly, and every additional day without a member of parliament deepens a constitutional injury that cannot be cured by clear statements, excuses, or conveniently timed security briefings. In any event, unlike all by-elections that have recently been undertaken, the Iebc unnecessarily protracted the Kalou one for a period of 90 days, while, for example, in Methu, it only took Iebc 45 days. What is being called insecurity has been a pattern, a sponsor, and a political beneficiary. The very grounds now being paraded by Iebc, violence, voter bribery, intimidation, and breach of peace are the same mischiefs that UDA and its agents have been accused of manufacturing on the ground. The security meeting between Iebc and election stakeholders that was supposed to be held on Thursday, yesterday, the 9th of July 2026, was curiously and conveniently postponed indefinitely. Voter bribery is not an abstract allegation floating in the air. Residents have witnessed the organized distribution of shoes, mattresses, blankets, gas cylinders, food and cash handouts, among many other items by government operatives, desperate to purchase what they cannot earn through persuasion. Even more telling, is the public spectacle of the Honorable David Gikaria, a prominent member of the UDA brigade, being caught on camera bragging about spending about 1.2 million in a single meeting. Iebc must decide whether it is an electoral commission or a political roundtree for the ruling parties to panic. A party cannot flood a constituency with inducements, import goons to intimidate locals, as exemplified by one, the Honorable Moses Kuya, who publicly asserted that he would import 200 troops to Kalou on the 16th of July 2026. Yet Iebc remains mum on this conduct. If there are persons committing electoral offences, the law provides for arrest, prosecution, and accountability. It does not provide for the corrective punishment of voters whose only offense is refusing to surrender their democratic choice. The responsibility of securing an election lies with the government security agencies, not Iebc. The Commission's constitutional duty is to conduct an election, protect the integrity of the vote, and appoint another date only when the law strictly allows for postponement. Under the Elections Act, postponement is an exceptional response to circumstances that make the poll impossible. It is never a license to cancel representation, suspend the constitution, or buy political time for a frightened administration. If Iebc proceeds down the road, Kenyans will be entitled to ask whether Kalou is being used as a laboratory for a darker national design to normalize postponement today, so that when the country approaches the 10th of August 2027, the same script may be dusted off to delay the people's verdict and stretch President Ruto's hold on power. Mr. Ethekon, the chairman of Iebc, why do you anticipate violence? Unless there's something you know that we don't, unless there's something you know that the country needs to know, and if indeed you have any information as to impending violence, what action have you taken against the would-be perpetrators. There seems to be a clear nexus between your statement yesterday and the warning notes and threats flooding all Kalou this morning. Allow me to read that again. There seems to be a clear nexus between the statement that was made by the chairman of Iebc yesterday and the warning notes and threats flooding all Kalou this morning. It is a calculated move to clear your anticipated unconstitutional threats to postpone or cancel the by-election. Despite these despicable acts and threats, the people of Kalou have remained calm, disciplined, and alert despite open provocation. They have refused to be baited by hired disorder, and that civic maturity should strengthen the case for the ballot rather than become the excuse for denying it. Iebc, let me repeat that, despite these despicable acts and threats, the people of Kalou have remained calm, disciplined, and alert despite open provocation. They have refused to be baited by hired disorder, and that civic maturity should strengthen the case for the ballot rather than become the excuse for denying it. Iebc must therefore stop dressing political cowardice as security prudence. They must proceed with the by-election and allow the constituency to speak in the only language power fears, the vote. Iebc must proceed with the by-election. Iebc must proceed with the by-election. I want them to underline the word must. Iebc must proceed with it. Iebc must proceed with the by-election. To allow the constituency to speak in the language power fears the most, the vote. That message must go out. Iebc must proceed with the by-election.
Yes.
On the 16th of July, 2026, as sure as Christmas is on the 25th of December, Iebc must proceed with the by-election.
It is must.
As sure as the 16th of July is on a Thursday, Iebc must. Iebc must proceed with the by-election and allow the constituency to speak in the language power fears most, the vote. And I will just say, nobody can stop reggae. The train has already left the station. The people of Kalou are expectant. They must get representation on the 16th of July, 2026. They have waited long enough. The campaign period has been long enough. They have waited for 90 days to get a member of parliament. They can't wait for a day longer. Iebc must. Iebc must. Iebc must proceed with the by-election. On the 16th of July, 2026, the day of the Lord. The people have been patient. They have waited for 90 days. They can't wait for a day longer. on the 16th of July, Thursday next week, Iebc must proceed with the by-election and allow the constituency to speak in the only language power fears most the vote. I want Iebc to underline in our statement that word must.
Must.
They have no liberty. They have no liberty to call or postpone the by-election. In conclusion, we call upon all Kenyans to raise their voices against the Iebc's attempt to postpone or cancel the by-election. We must stand together and protect our democratic processes. The system has panicked. I think that will be the end of our statement, and I think it has been very, very clear. We do not want to say anything more than that. Actually, once you say that the Iebc must. That became the backbone of our statement. I thank you very much. Asante sana.
Secretary General.
So the one is Iebc. They have no obligation, isn't it? Na tunaongea Kiingereza ndio. Iebc. Yeah, and if they don't, they must go. Yeah, so tumeshukuru sana.